Good afternoon, guys. We're here again talking about the, I don't know if it's Deepkin today, but today we're going to get a chance to look at this week's releases of the models, and we're going to take a look at the sprues a bit more up close. So what we've got today is we've got, first of all, is the, let's pronounce this right, the Marathi Reavers, which is an additional unit for range that the Deepkin have access to. So rather than just look at the images on the box, we're just going to go straight in, and we might refer to them back in a minute. So let's have the fun of getting polythene off, which is going to take me forever now, isn't it? There we go, we've got a tear. So, for those who have had a chance to look at the first week's releases, so far we had the Eidolons of the Sea and Storm, we had the Squid character, and we also had the basic battle line. So this is our first chance at expanding on our footfall, as long as with another character. So these are the Reavers. We're going to take a close-up first of all of just the box art, so you can see that. Let's make sure I've got it the right way up. So we've got some nice bowed individuals there, and as you can see on the back, they've done a slightly different colour scheme. So they are really cool to having, you know, all the different colours of the sort of underwater schemes. And then these are the sprues. So as you come to expect from Games Workshop now, they know what they're doing with injection mold plastics. You can see just on all the pieces there just how detailed they are. You've got the different limbs with leg attachments, so you'll get really dynamic poses. You've got all your various different quivers for your arrows and your different bow poses. Same again on the other sprue, but you've got on this, you've got a bit more character based bits like capes and some close combat weapon variants, which I think are for the leaders of the units. An interesting thing, if I can find some heads, let's find, here they are. So as you can see on the paint scheme, just going to go back to the box for a minute, all of the Deepkin base troops and the Reavers have been painted with no sights. They've got no eyes on the model. I don't know if this is intentionally because they can't see underwater, or whether it's just an ease of painting, but as you look on the faces there, they have been sculpted where they've got no real inset sort of recesses for eyes, so we'll make it nice and easy to get a quick paint scheme on the faces for those, and there's some nice characterful ones all the way along. So that is the Reavers, very dynamic and very nice sprue. Now we get to go on something a bit more exciting, which is the king himself, Volturnos, if you can see his name there, and there's the model. But this kit doesn't just make Volturnos, no, it makes a generic variant which can be assembled with a couple of different heads and some different weapon options. So again, we're just going to tear into the box. So this is the first time we're seeing all these as well as you guys. Let's get in and see what we've got. We've got a couple of extra bits in this. So we've got our slightly larger base size, as you'd expect from characters. We've then got what looks like the base of the mount, which is essentially like a seahorse unicorn. So there's a majority of the mount there. And we've got his arms and legs, as well as the starts to the generic characters. So you've got, if we zoom in just up here, you've got a couple of head options there, with a couple of crests to go on top of the helmet. And then we've got, just around this end, we've got a couple of different weapon options. I think there's a third one on there somewhere as well. And then on this extra sprue, this is where we get our King Volturnos extra bits with his own weaponry and also his own head crests and special additions to the mount that will really make him stand out if you're using him as your named character and general of your army. Now, I'm intending to do this, but at the same time, I'm not quite sure about, if we can just zoom in on his head, this eye patch. So I'm either going to use one of the Reaver heads and give him sort of his eyesight back, or I might just go with a helmeted variant. I don't know what you guys think about it. There's another head here as well, which is definitely another generic head, so he's not got an eye patch on. So there's definitely some variants there and a lot of options for building up your characters from just those two sprues alone. So there you have it. They're your releases for this week for the Deepkin. Again, we've got the Reavers, the additional ranged combat unit, and we've got our named character, Volturnos, High King of the Deep, which also makes a generic hero on Seahorse Unicorn. Both of these are out Saturday, so if you're looking to pick them up, either pre-order on the website or get yourself into store, and we'll see you soon.